first question is, if I purchase a new build, do I need an inspection? And honestly, with my experience, anytime you buy a house, I would highly recommend you to get an inspection. Simply because the inspector you hire is working for your own benefit, and it's just good to find out what is really going on with the house that you're about to purchase. Even with new house, I heard a story of termites get into a brand new 2 by 4 wood frames, and before you purchase a new build, it's just good to have an inspector to come in and basically walk through the house and tell you exactly what's going on with the house. And it's less than $500, so I think it's a good investment there for you for the long run there. The second question is my interest rate on the pre-approved letter locked in? Again, I'm not a licensed lender, so I can't really speak on the interest rate, but in my personal experience, what on the pre-approved letter might not be the same number that you're gonna get when you lock in your rate when you sign the paperwork to purchase your home, simply because the interest rate is go off on the current market rate. So it might be in the ballpark of the rate, but it's not going to be the exactly same. So be expecting of that. It might be lower. I did a few transactions that the current interest rate actually lower than what they quote my buyer on the pre-approved letter. So it worked on the good side of it. Granted, there's one time that the buyer really mad because it was literally 0.25% higher than what is on the pre-approved letter. But I explained to her and I told her, listen, this is just current market value of the interest rate. So at the end of the day, she understood, and she just move on with the plan. Should I take out a loan to fix something around the house before I sell it? I don't think you should take out a loan, in my personal opinion, simply because you're trying to sell the house and you're not trying to bring any value to it. So why put out a loan and trying to fix something that the future buyer gonna appreciate it? So I'm just waiting on it to see if it's something that you can lower on the price, and when you negotiate on the house and things like that. So I wouldn't do that. My very last question that you guys asked is, I am interested at a rental property. Can you tell me more about how it works? So when it comes to investing in real estate and doing rental property, I have a lot of different situations, whereas some investors just want to buy the house and let a management property company take over to deal with the tenants and to, if the tenant have any type of issue with the house, they'll call the property management company instead of the landlord, which is the investor. And I also have some other investors that want to handle that themselves instead of pay a management company to do it. So that's really the two ways to do that. But I do have a list of pre-foreclosure houses every month I send out to my investor, and some of them just buy it and flip it, but other people, they buy it and then they fix it up and they rent it out to the tenants. My personal goal this month, is to help 4 families. So if you know anybody that need our help as far as financial and around the house and things like that, we are in the business of helping others. So we'll send our team and things like that to help them to do whatever it takes to be a part of the community. Next week we actually go into the food bank to be a part of the food bank and help out there in the community. So if you know anybody that you think that will be a good fit for us to reach out to help, you can nominate them at assistantofduc@gmail.com or text us at 346-234-1567, and my team will get on it and see if it's a good fit for us. My business goal for real estate is to help for sellers, for buyers, and for investors this month. So if you know anybody that need our service, you are welcome to refer them to us, and we actually do pay referral fee to you when you refer the client to us. And I have 4 tips here for this: one for seller, one for buyer, one for investor, and one for the real estate agent. For the seller, I think that you should get all your paperwork ready before you try to list your house with the realtors. Simply because when you get into a contract, you need to provide the assistant survey and all the document that when you purchase the house that you get to bring it home after you sign the paperwork. So it's good to provide those things, that way you avoid some of the fee that you might have to pay out of it. Ask your realtor to provide you the seller disclosure to fill it out before you list it, because at the end of the day, when you sell a house, you need to provide that to the potential buyer. For the buyer, instead of get a pre-qualified letter from your lender, I suggest you to get the pre-approval from your local lender instead. And because if you're in a multiple offer situation where multiple buyers want to buy the same house that you're interested, as a realtor, I would recommend my seller to look at all of the options as far as the offers. But I also would tell them, listen, if there's a local lender, most likely we will close it on time or what they promised, instead of a corporate bank, because sometimes corporate bank takes a lot longer. And I was in a situation where I represent the buyer and they wanted to go with the bank that they've been working with, and it happened to be a corporate bank, and we lost out on the deal, on the offer. Even though our offer is very strong, they chose a local lender's offer. So buyer, highly recommend you to use a local lender, and the interest rate is very comparative when it comes to the rate between the local lender and the corporate bank.